With less than 1 week to go before officials say the U.S. could default on its debt and collapse the economy, leaders in Washington are hoping to push through a compromise deal designed to prevent it.
But one part of the deal could have major impacts for more than 1 million people in our state. 13 on your side's Josh Albertus is here with details on what that big impact could be. Josh.
Well, with Michigan being one of the states with the highest amounts of federal student loan borrowers in the nation, a section of this bill that ends the 3-year pause on payments for those loans could mean big changes for those Michigan borrowers. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Joe Biden reaching a deal over the weekend to raise the nation's debt ceiling until 2025, potentially avoiding a catastrophic default in exchange for federal spending cuts and other economic priorities for the GOP.
After weeks of negotiations, we have come to an agreement in principle. We still have a lot of work to do, but I believe this is an agreement in principle that's worthy of the American people.
One major concession from the White House, the restart of payments on federal student loans later this summer, payments that have been paused since the start of the pandemic.
Most borrowers are going to have to work hard to fit this into their budget. The average borrower owes $400 a month, and to have that just kind of pop up is going to be hard to accommodate.
Scheduled for 60 days after June 30th, the potential restart looms over more than 1.4 million borrowers in Michigan, including at Grand Valley State University, where Michelle Miller Adams teaches as a political science professor.
This age group is also at the age where they are really establishing credit, and many of them may not have a credit history, and your student loan payments are an important part of that. So not just ignoring that is a very good idea down the road if you want to get a car loan or a mortgage or things like that.
Just over half of all GVSU graduates were receiving federal student loans during the 2020-2021 school year. One of the university's recent graduates says she's one of them. While she says she's in the midst of a 6-month grace period given to graduates on their loans, she fears how she'll be able to make payments now that they could resume.
It definitely makes me feel just very nervous. I know that it's a commitment and I know that I'll stick to it, but how exactly that'll happen is definitely kind of up in the air right now.
However, the timeline for the end of the pause, Miller Adams said, could spell some good news for borrowers.
It's not a very long window, this 60-day window, but it does give borrowers time to reach out to their student loan servicers, to track down that information about where their loans currently are, to try to reach somebody on the phone if they need help.
One local financial expert explained what can be done in that time by those with student debt to prepare.
You may want to cut back on one of your savings areas temporarily while you get this back into your budget. And remember that in your savings area, number 1 is your emergency fund. Number 2 is your retirement savings. Make sure that you start at the number 2 and then work your way up to number 1. You always want to have those emergency savings on hand.
With just days to go before the U.S. could default, Michigan borrowers may soon face a new economic reality, not felt for years. Josh Albertus, 13 on your side.